back to Prep Talk Podcast. I'm your host Vartika Bhandari, and today's episode covers the ACT Math section. We have shortlisted some very important questions which students face during their ACT prep, and to solve all your doubts, we have with us Tutela's in-house maths and stats faculty Akash Gupta. Hello, sir. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing good too. So, are you ready for the podcast? Because honestly, I'm not. I'm very scared when it comes to math.
Yeah, fine. I will try to resolve all your queries.
Perfect. So, let's start with the first question. What is math section all about in ACT exam?
So, the math section in the ACT exam generally test the basic mathematical skills with syllabus covering the topics like algebra, plane geometry, coordinate geometry, trigonometry, etc. So, basically in the exam there are 60 questions and the time limit is 60 minutes. The calculator, the graphic display calculator is allowed throughout the section. And of course, see, for any exam the concept is very important, so everyone should be very good with the concept. But here the real challenge is the time management and pressure handling skills, because 60 questions, 60 minutes, and one needs to answer all questions correctly to get 36 out of 36. So that is the one of the biggest challenges in this exam.
All right. So, what is the weightage of this section?
So basically again there are 60 questions. So first the row score is calculated out of 60. Then that row score is converted into a scaled score out of 36, right? The same thing is done for every section, including the English, reading and science. And then the total, or you can say the final score out of 36 is calculated by giving equal weightage to every section.
So, coming on to our next question, that math section is very tight as compared to the time that is given to each student. What should be the strategy to take up the section and complete it on time?
Okay, so as I said, that time management is one of the most important parts in this exam.
Right.
So for that, first thing is, if you are getting stuck in any question, even if it is in first 20 questions, see, generally in ACT exam, according to the college board, the difficulty level of the question increases, right, throughout the section from 1 to 60. So if you are getting stuck in any question, even if it is in first 20, don't spend more than 1 minute on any question. If you are finding it difficult, leave it and move ahead. Because see, we need to attempt all 60 questions in any case, because every question has same weightage. So instead of spending too much time on a single question, move ahead. But the thing is, students, suppose he is getting any question in the first 20 difficult. So he would think that now what would I do in the paper, because I am finding the question in the first 20 difficult. So what would I do in the later part? So that's where the pressure builds up and that affects the overall score. So you need to be very calm while taking this exam.
Right.
Okay. Next is, to save the time, one needs to be very thorough with the techniques and tricks. For example, techniques means one can use the elimination method to eliminate some options instead of finding the exact answer. Or one can satisfy the options in the question, or you can say that for every topic there are some tricks. Suppose in quadratic, if the question is asking for the sum of the roots, so we don't need to find the individual roots, we will find the sum of the roots by a formula. So that's where we can save the time. Fine. Other than that, there are always shorter ways to solve any question. So suppose in any practice session in the class, even if you are getting any question correct, but if you feel like there may be some shorter way to do it, ask your teacher, because that shorter way will save your time. So these are the tricks one needs to focus on to manage the time well.
All right. So now that they have managed their time, what is the total time required for preparing for math section?
Okay, so as far as the duration of the course is concerned, generally at Tutela, we take about 10 classes to complete the syllabus with the practice sessions. After that, we conduct almost basically approximately 10 FLTs. So that will take about 1 month. So, and the frequency of classes is once a week. So for 10 classes, it is about 2 to 2.5 months and 1 month for the FLTs. So overall, ideally, it takes about 3 to 4 months, right? But again, it depends on the student that how fast he or she is grasping the concept and following the techniques. So, but ideally, it is about 3 to 4 months.
Right. So, coming on to the sectional math test that we take here, how many tests are recommended for a student to get into the testing rhythm of, taking up questions and maintaining their time and getting into the basic rhythm of testing and taking a math section?
Okay. So now to get used to the testing process, of course, concepts are fine, but other than that, practice is the key.
Right.
So in the classes, along with the concept clearing sessions, one should do the practice rigorously. So that is the practice part. Plus, once the syllabus is completed, then one should take about 4 to 5 sections for warming up, right? Before entering into the FLT cycle. Right. Once that is done, now one can start with the FLTs. Generally, 10 FLTs are recommended, minimum 10 FLTs are recommended for the exam. So basically, before appearing in the final exam, 10 FLTs, 4 or 5 sectionals, and practice sessions with the classes.
Right. So moving on to our next question, what are some useful resources that you recommend to our students to take up ACT math section?
Okay, so generally there are mainly 2 resources. One is the official one. On act.org, one can find the official test preparation guide. Another is the Tutela's online learning platform for ACT, right? So now this platform is all about the practice drills and basically, see, it is the adaptive learning platform. Means suppose a student has started a practice drill, right? Now, based on the result of that drill, the system will analyze the number of questions the students got incorrect and the topics where he is lacking, right? Now, in the next drill, the system will adapt, and in the next drill, most of the questions will be from the weak topics. So, in this way, drill by drill, the cycle runs, and in the end, the all doubts related to all weak topics will get cleared. So basically, it is the adaptive system, and in this way, it will lead to the increase in accuracy and time management both.
Right. And it also helps that students, with Tutela's portal, students get insight into how exactly the exam would look like when they appear it in the real time, like the actual exam.
Absolutely, because the drills on the platform are timed, right? So that is of course the benefit.
Yeah, of course. Moving on to our next question, how can students calculate their target score for the section?
Okay, so now target score, the first I can say first base of the targeted score would be the diagnostic test, right? So that is the base. When any student takes the diagnostic test, that will be the base, right? Then after attending some classes and practice sessions, based on the accuracy he is getting in those practice sessions, he can target or estimate the score, right? And he can use the official scaling for that, right? Once the practice sessions are done, now once he enters the FLT cycle, again with the first FLT, he will get more realistic estimation of the score. But the thing is that one should not overestimate the target just due to some excitement, right? The improvement in the score will be gradual, right? So basically, one should be very consistent in the efforts, and the improvement will be there for sure if one is following the tricks and techniques very thoroughly. So basically, the improvement will be gradual, and in this way, one can target the score.
Absolutely. So our next question is, what are some essential topics of ACT maths? Like the syllabus is vast, but then what are some important topics that students should not miss?
Fine.
Covering?
Okay. Again, the rule is, see, all topics are important.
Yes.
That is the golden rule.
Yes.
But okay, I can say that there are mainly 2 topics which forms major part of the exam. First is we can say plane geometry, and second is pre-algebra. Both have total weightage about 40 to 50% of the exam, right? Other than these 2 topics, the coordinate geometry intermediate algebra, elementary algebra, all three will carry 15 to 20% weightage each. Right? Other than these major topics, there are few topics, though they are very small and the weightage is very low. But the topics like you can say metrics, sequences, logarithms. These are the topics, and the conic section. These are the topics which stop students from getting 60 out of 60. Right? So these are the topics which will help to score full marks. And other than those, the plane geometry and the pre-algebra are the major topics.
Right. So we can say they are scoring.
Yes, they are scoring.
Right. So moving on to our next question, how is the ACT math section different from SAT math section?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you about the syllabus. So the syllabus is more or less similar, right? Except 3 or 4 topics here and there. The syllabus is similar. The major difference is the use of calculator.
Okay.
So the calculator is allowed in ACT exam throughout the section. But in SAT, you have 2 sections. First is non-calculator and second is calculator. So in SAT, you should be able to answer the questions manually and using calculator both. In ACT, no need to solve anything manually. You have calculator, you can use it. Right? Another thing is that in SAT, the topics, you can say the questions asked, those are, you can say, deep for any topic, right? But in ACT, the syllabus or the topics are covered broadly, but not that much deep as SAT. So that is the, again, another difference.
Also, the time is also a big factor in SAT.
Yeah.
SAT is
Time.
a bit lenient with the timing.
Yes.
But ACT is very...
In ACT, 60 minutes, 60 questions, and that is the thing.
Right. So moving on to our last question for this podcast, what are some tips that you would like to tell our students for scoring good in math section?
Okay. So I already talked about the time management skills, which is one of the crucial ones.
Yes.
Next thing is concept that should not be compromised. Other than that, if someone is taking the practice sessions, FLTs, many tests, sectionals, everything, how to analyze the performance in any test. So that should be at micro level. Means first make an error log that which topics I am lacking in, right? And then once I have a bunch of topics, then I will do, or the student should do, the practice based on topic, right? Once that is done, means now we are thorough with the topics. Next thing is the test taking skills. Again, I talked about the techniques to guess any answer or to eliminate any option. Then next will be the shorter way to do any question. That is another thing. Other than that, the direction of thinking while solving any question. Means, okay, for example, in any question, what is the important thing one should focus on? You have only 1 minute. So first thing you should focus on is what is given in the question. I need to use that given information to get the answer. So then what is asked? So what is given and what is asked, these are the 2 important things. For example, if in any coordinate geometry question, if you are given that this point x comma y lies on any equation of a line. Now how to use this information? So if any point lies on the equation of a line, so what does it mean? That point will satisfy the equation. So just put that point in the equation and then get the answer, whatever it is asking. So basically you need to use, or you should be able to use, the information given in the question. So while practicing any test, these are the points one should focus on.
So that is it for today's podcast. Thank you so much, Akash sir, for being here.
Thank you.
Okay. So to all the listeners, we hope today's episode was useful for you. If you like this segment, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and help other aspirants out. Have a good day and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.